Most people seriously underestimate what can happen in just a single week. They assume real transformation takes years, maybe even decades, before anything meaningful shows up. But that belief is wrong. Change does not actually require time. It requires a clear decision, a firm choice to break old patterns, to rise above distractions, and to stop bargaining with laziness and fear. One focused week, one disciplined week, 1 week of intentional action, and you will barely recognize the person looking back at you in the mirror. This is not about turning into someone fake or pretending to be different. It is about removing the old version of yourself, the version that made excuses, hit the snooze button repeatedly, avoided challenges, delayed responsibility, and lived life on autopilot. You already have everything you need inside you. Nothing is missing except urgency, clarity, and commitment. Right now, I am going to guide you through a 7-day transformation approach that can help you become unrecognizable, not just to other people, but to yourself. You will learn how to take control of your mornings, destroy weak habits, train your body with purpose, fuel your mind with better input, and speak, move, and think like a different person. Not in theory, but in real life. This is not about hype or motivation. This is about strategy. It is about building a blueprint that rewires how you show up every single day. If you have felt stuck, this is your exit. If you have felt drained, this is your reset. And if you are ready to become the person you were meant to be, this is your moment. Stay with me for the next few minutes while I give you the exact roadmap to become unrecognizable in just 1 week. Let's go. The first thing you must do is stop wasting the first hour of your day. If you want to change your life in 1 week, it has to start with how you use that very first hour after you wake up. That hour is sacred. It is not just the start of your morning. It is the launch point of your momentum. Most people wake up, grab their phone immediately, scroll through random nonsense, and give away their focus before they have even had a sip of water or taken a deep breath. They hand control of their day to the outside world without realizing it. And that is exactly why they stay stuck. Your first hour must belong to you, not your boss, not your notifications, not the news, you. When you wake up, you are standing at the gate of a new day, a fresh opportunity. The way you treat that moment tells your brain, your body, and your spirit whether this day actually matters. So give it meaning. Wake up with intention. Drink water. Move your body, even if it is only light stretching or a short walk. Take slow, deep breaths. Write down what you are going to accomplish. Speak life into your day. Do not stumble quietly into the morning. Command it. Build a routine that energizes you, grounds you, and puts your mind into attack mode. Because once you control that first hour, the rest of the day starts responding to you instead of you chasing it. This single change alone can shift how people see you. You will walk differently, think differently, and act like someone with direction. Someone who does not just react to life, but designs it. So do not waste your mornings. Protect them. Use them wisely. Master them. Because if you win the first hour, you have already won the day. The next step is to eliminate 1 weak habit today. You do not need to fix your entire life in 1 week. That is not realistic, and that is not the goal. The goal is transformation, and real transformation does not begin by adding more things. It begins by removing what is holding you back. Just one thing. 1 weak habit that you already know is slowing your progress. One behavior that does not belong in the future you are trying to build. Here is the truth most people avoid. Your identity is shaped more by what you stop doing than by what you start doing. Every time you allow a weak habit to stay, you feed the old version of yourself. And that old version has already had enough time. That version brought you here. But the person you are becoming cannot afford to keep carrying the same weight. Whether it is endless scrolling, negative self-talk, junk food binges, skipping workouts, staying up too late, or constantly making excuses, choose one. Choose the one that is costing you the most and cut it off like poison, because it is. You do not need motivation for this. You need a firm decision, a non-negotiable decision that says, this habit ends with me. That is the moment things begin to change. This is not about being perfect. It is about breaking a pattern. If you can break one destructive loop today, you create space for a stronger version of yourself to step forward tomorrow. Think of it like pulling a weed from a garden. Once it is gone, growth happens faster, cleaner, and stronger. Do not overcomplicate this. You do not need a long list of changes. You only need to identify the habit that quietly whispers, "It's not a big deal." That is usually the habit keeping you small and draining your self-respect. One day at a time, remove it. Replace it with something better. If you always reach for your phone first thing in the morning, replace that with writing your goals. If you complain constantly, replace that with a daily gratitude check. If you delay what matters most, set a timer and do the hard thing first. When you remove just one weak habit, your energy shifts and your standards rise. You prove to yourself that you are in control. Not your urges, not your cravings, not your distractions. That kind of power is how you become unrecognizable. Not because the world suddenly sees someone different, but because you do. You look in the mirror and realize you are no longer tied to that behavior. You are building something new, and it started with one simple decision: letting go of what no longer serves you. Now you must move your body like you mean it. You cannot build a strong mind inside a weak, neglected body. The way you move through the world sends a message. It tells other people how you see yourself. And more importantly, it tells you how you see yourself. If you drag your feet through the day, slump your shoulders, and move like life is heavy, that energy multiplies. Your mind starts believing that story. Your emotions follow your posture. Your thoughts follow your pace. Ask yourself, when was the last time you moved with fire, with purpose, with strength in your step, and confidence in your rhythm? You do not need to become a fitness model or live in the gym. You need movement with intention. Move your body every day this week like it matters, because it does. This is about claiming your space. It is about shaking off old energy and stepping into a new rhythm. Take a hard walk. Do push-ups. Stretch with focus. Dance in your room like you own the floor. Breathe deeply while you move. You are not just getting in shape. You are breaking weakness and waking up the strong part of you that has been asleep. That strength you want in your life begins in your body. Do not tell yourself you will do it tomorrow. Do it today. Do it tired. Do it unmotivated. Do it without perfect conditions. Just move. Because movement creates momentum. The more you move, the more alive you feel. The more alive you feel, the more confident you become. Confidence changes everything. It changes how people respond to you. It changes how you enter a room. It changes how you speak, how you lead, and how you live. If you want to become unrecognizable, stop moving like the old version of yourself. That version hesitated and played small. This new version walks with certainty, trains with intensity, stands tall, and breathes like every breath matters. Because it does. Make it a rule this week. Move every day. Move with purpose. Move like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Next, you must cut the noise and control what you consume. If you want clarity, focus, and confidence, you have to protect your mind. What you allow in determines what comes out. You cannot fill your head with chaos and expect peace. You cannot consume negativity all day and expect to walk with strength. Your mind is your command center, and the quality of your thoughts is directly tied to the quality of what you feed it. Most people are drowning in noise, endless opinions, constant scrolling, content that distracts but never builds, voices from people who have never created anything telling them how to live. It is no surprise they feel lost and overwhelmed. Your environment is not only physical, it is digital, mental, and emotional. If you do not control it, it will control you. So for this week, cut the noise. Unfollow what drains you. Mute voices that feed doubt. Step away from doom scrolling, gossip, and fear-driven content. Not forever, just for 1 week. 1 week of silence from the outside so you can finally hear your own thoughts again. Replace it with better input. Listen to things that strengthen you. Watch content that pushes you toward action. Read something that sharpens your thinking. Surround yourself with ideas that challenge you to grow instead of comforting you into staying the same. This is not about perfection, it is about intention. Every time you choose better input, you strengthen the foundation of who you are becoming. And this also applies to people. Look at who you allow into your emotional space. Do they lift you up or pull you down? Do they remind you of your potential or reinforce your doubts? Protecting your energy is not rude, it is responsible. You don't owe anyone your attention, especially people who refuse to respect the progress you are making. This is your week to rewire your thinking, to reset your mind with clarity, focus, and real purpose. Turn down the noise around you and tune into your mission. When you clean up what you allow into your mind, something powerful starts to happen. You begin to think more clearly. You move with more speed. You believe with more depth. Your goals become sharper instead of blurry. Your values grow louder, and the chaos of the outside world slowly loses its control over you. You start wanting to become unrecognizable, not for attention, but for growth. So feed your mind like someone who is going somewhere with their life. Starve distractions instead of entertaining them. Fuel the vision instead of feeding doubt. Your mind is far too powerful to be wasted on junk information, empty drama, and useless noise. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it truly does. Plan like a professional. Do not wing it. You do not accidentally stumble into greatness. You design your way there. You cannot expect to become unrecognizable by the end of the week if every day starts with confusion and ends with regret. Winners do not guess their way forward. They prepare. They write things down. They live by direction, not by default. Here is something simple, but extremely powerful. Every minute you invest in planning saves you hours of wasted effort later. Many people say planning is boring. They claim it takes too much time. But the truth is, it gives you more time than you think. Without a plan, your energy leaks, your focus drifts, your decisions get delayed. Then suddenly, the day is over, and nothing that truly mattered got done. Start planning like your future depends on it, because it does. Every night before you sleep, map out your next day. Do not leave your goals floating around in your head. Put them on paper. Put them on your phone. Make them visible and real. Know what time you're going to wake up. Know what your top 3 priorities are. Know when you will do the hard tasks, not if you will maybe get to them later. And when you wake up, review that plan like an athlete studying plays before a championship game. Do not wait for motivation to show up. Do not hope the day magically goes your way. You take control of it. A clear plan gives you confidence. It removes decision fatigue. It helps you say no to distractions because you already said yes to your priorities. When people or situations try to pull you off track, you will recognize it immediately because your direction is already set. Here is where the magic happens. Once you start living by a plan, momentum begins to build. You start getting more done in one focused day than you used to get done in an entire scattered week. You are no longer reacting to life. You are creating your life. You are not just surviving each day. You are building something from it. That is the mark of someone who is becoming unrecognizable, not because they are working harder, but because they are working smarter. Do not confuse movement with progress. Being busy does not mean you are growing. Activity without clarity is just noise, but a plan becomes your compass. It lifts you above average thinking. It pulls your life off autopilot and puts it back into your hands. Stop hoping things simply work out. Start designing your days with intention and precision. Become the kind of person who lives on purpose, not impulse. When you plan like a professional, you move like a leader. You execute like a winner. And the person you were just a week ago will barely recognize who you are becoming now. If you want fast change, if you want to become unrecognizable in a short period of time, then make this rule your standard. Do hard things on purpose, not by accident, not only when life forces you to. Do them because you choose to. The people who grow the fastest are the ones who stop running from discomfort and start leaning into it. Most people spend their lives trying to make everything easier. They chase shortcuts, comfort zones, and escape routes. What they fail to understand is this: every time you avoid something hard, you delay your potential. Every time you play it safe, your confidence gets smaller. Growth never comes from ease. It comes from pressure, resistance, and challenge. That is where character is formed. So this week, move toward discomfort. Wake up earlier than you want to. Speak up even when it feels uncomfortable. Push your body when your mind is begging you to quit. Start the task you have been avoiding. Discipline your time instead of wasting it. Face the fear you keep postponing. Whatever feels hard, make that your assignment. Do not wait for life to corner you. Get ahead of it, because comfort will never take you to greatness. Discomfort is the doorway. When you train yourself to do hard things, you become mentally tougher. You build grit. You earn self-respect. And that fuel is necessary if you are serious about real transformation. It does not need to be extreme. Start small. Choose one hard thing today and finish it. No excuses, no delays. The power is not in how big the task is. The power is in following through. The moment you push past resistance, something shifts inside you. You stop being controlled by your feelings. You start being guided by your mission. And here is the reward. Once you get used to doing hard things, easy things stop exciting you. You begin craving growth. You start looking for challenges because you realize how capable you actually are. Hard things become your training ground. Over time, what once scared you becomes your new normal. This is how you become unrecognizable. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger, tougher, and sharper. People will notice something has changed. They will not see the quiet battles you fought every day. They will not know about the discomfort you accepted or the resistance you broke through. But you will know. You will feel it in how you walk, how you stand, and how you decide. So if there is one habit you carry forward from this week, let it be this. Never back away from the hard path. Take it, own it, and conquer it. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side. Words matter. They are not just sounds. They are instructions to your subconscious mind. Every time you speak, you are strengthening belief or feeding doubt, building momentum, or reinforcing excuses. That is why if you want to become unrecognizable, you must start talking like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Pay attention to how you speak about your goals. Do you say, I hope? Or do you say, I will? Do you say, I'm trying? Or do you say, I'm doing it? The difference is massive. One leaves space for failure. The other creates certainty. From this moment on, your language must change. Stop speaking like a maybe. Stop shrinking your dreams with weak words. Use language that aligns with confidence and progress. Speak like your habits are improving and your growth is real. When your words change, your thinking follows. When your thinking shifts, your actions transform. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about telling the truth from the level of your potential. If you were lazy before, say that version of you is done. If you failed in the past, say it trained you. If you doubted yourself, say you chose belief again. Speak life into your direction, not negativity into your delay. This is not fake positivity. It is focused identity. You are not just talking about your situation. You are speaking to your inner drive, and it listens. When you say, I can't, everything shuts down. When you say, I will, everything rises. Talk like you have already won, not because everything is perfect, but because your mindset is shifting. That shift matters more than any result. Watch yourself talk. Do not joke about your weaknesses like they define you forever. Do not hide behind sarcasm. Speak clearly, confidently, and with belief. Speak that same strength into others. Encourage their growth. The energy you put out through words is the same energy you invite back into your life. Your voice carries weight because it comes from belief. When belief grows, your actions follow. You walk differently. You show up differently. People can sense it. That is what makes you unrecognizable. How you present yourself matters more than people like to admit. It does not define your worth, but it absolutely influences your mindset. The way you show up physically sets the tone for how you act, how others respond to you, and how seriously you take yourself. You do not need expensive clothes or luxury brands. You need intention. Dress like someone who is going somewhere, someone who is building something meaningful. When you are clean, sharp, and put together, your confidence rises. You stand taller. You speak with certainty. You move with purpose. You are signaling to yourself that today matters. You are telling your mind that you are not drifting. You are leading. That energy carries into everything you do. This is about respecting the process. If you are becoming unrecognizable on the inside, let the outside reflect that growth. When you roll out of bed and stay careless all day, your body absorbs that message. But when you get dressed with intention, even if no one sees you, you reinforce discipline. You reinforce self-respect. And that quiet discipline becomes visible in everything else you do. We are showing up to win. Do not fall into the trap of thinking appearance is shallow. It is not about trying to impress other people. It is about building discipline, self-respect, and inner alignment. When you take pride in how you look, even in small details like clean shoes, neat hair, and pressed clothes, you raise your personal standard. And when your standard rises, your results rise with it. You are building a new identity this week, and every part of that identity must be intentional. From the way you move to the way you speak, and yes, the way you look. Think of your clothes as armor, not armor to hide from the world, but armor that reminds you who you are. Inside it, when you look in the mirror and see a focused, sharp, powerful version of yourself, you begin to act like that person. You start making choices from that energy. And that is how change speeds up. You do not need a brand new wardrobe. You just need to upgrade how you use what you already own. Stand in front of the mirror before you walk out and ask yourself, does this version of me look like someone chasing greatness? If the answer is no, make an adjustment. Not for ego, but for vision, because the person you are becoming deserves to be seen, even if only by you. So look the part. Dress like every day matters. Carry yourself like your future is already unfolding, because it is. And when people see you, let them feel it in their core. This person is on a mission. When your presence speaks before you open your mouth, you are not just changing, you are becoming unforgettable, unshakable, and unrecognizable. Build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are right now and who you are trying to become. If you want to be unrecognizable in just 1 week, you do not need magic. You need momentum. And momentum comes from one thing: self-discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done even when you do not feel like it, especially when you do not feel like it. Most people believe discipline is a punishment. It is not. It is a gift. It is the highest form of self-respect. When you keep your word to yourself, when you say you will do something and you actually follow through, you start to trust yourself. And that trust turns into power. That is where real confidence lives. Not in comfort, not in hype, but in quiet consistency. So here is your mission. Build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. 7 days where you show up for yourself without excuses. 7 days of doing what you said you would do. Wake up when you promised you would. Stick to your routine. Eat what fuels your body. Train your body. Stay away from useless habits. Finish the tasks, keep the promises, and when your mind begs for comfort, you stay the path. This is not about perfection, it is about patterns. 1 day becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. Before you realize it, you are stacking wins. And each win rewires your brain. It starts whispering, this is who I am now. I follow through. This is how change really happens. Not through big speeches, but through small, disciplined actions repeated daily. This streak is not for the world to applaud. It is for you. It is your inner contract, your proof that you are serious about becoming more. Because here is the truth. No one will believe in you until you believe in yourself. And nothing builds belief like discipline. Discipline is quiet, but its results are loud. People will not see the early mornings, the temptations you resisted, or the sacrifices you made, but they will see the glow, the strength, and the shift in your energy. And here is the best part. You do not need to wait to feel motivated. Discipline does not care about feelings. It only responds to decisions. Once you decide to commit to that 7-day streak, you stop negotiating. You do not ask, do I feel like it? You say, this is who I am now. That is identity level change. And identity change is the foundation of real transformation. So start the streak. Track it if you need to. Mark the days, feel the momentum growing, And by the end of the week, you will look back and realize you are not the same person. You are no longer the one who made excuses, broke promises, or avoided discomfort. You are becoming someone different, someone stronger, someone the old version of you would not even recognize. That is what this week is about. That is what makes it real. 7 days, full commitment, no compromise. Watch what happens. Create a non-negotiable night routine. How you end your day matters just as much as how you begin it. Most people treat the evening like a slow collapse. They scroll until they feel numb, snack until they feel heavy, and fall asleep with chaos still running through their minds. Then they wonder why the next day feels cloudy and unproductive. If you want to become unrecognizable in 1 week, you need to end every day like someone serious about success. That means building a non-negotiable night routine. This is not about becoming robotic. It is about being intentional. Your night routine is the bridge between who you were today and who you want to be tomorrow. It is the closing ritual of your progress. It is where you lock in the gains, reflect on your actions, and prepare to go to battle again in the morning. Start by shutting down the noise, turn off the screens, cut off the world's input so your mind can breathe. Give yourself space to think, to settle, and to disconnect from the chaos. Then do a short review. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for right now? This 5-minute reflection seems small, but it changes everything. Next, set the next day in motion. Lay out your clothes, prepare your task list, write down your top 3 priorities. Do not wait until morning to gain clarity. Decide now while your mind is calm. That way, when the sun rises, you are not wandering. You are executing. Then do something that signals peace. Maybe it is reading a few pages of a strong book. Maybe it is writing in a journal. Maybe it is sitting in silence and breathing deeply. Whatever it is, make it a clear signal to your mind. We are shutting down with strength, not chaos. And this is what makes it powerful. You make it non-negotiable. That means even when you are tired, even when you want to crash, you still follow the routine. Why? Because this is who you are now. You are not just someone chasing success. You are someone living it day by day, night by night. That is the difference between dreamers and doers. One lives by intention, the other lives by impulse. This night routine becomes your anchor. No matter how the day went, whether it was a win or a lesson, you end it with purpose. And when you sleep, you rest knowing you close the day with dignity. That feeling builds self-respect, and self-respect fuels consistency. So from this night forward, no more careless endings. No more collapsing into sleep like a runaway train. You finish strong. You reset. You recommit. And you rise the next day with fire already burning. When you master your nights, your mornings follow. Your momentum multiplies. And day by day, the transformation you started becomes permanent, predictable, and powerful. It becomes you. You do not need a new year to change your life. You do not need more time, more money, or more motivation. What you need is a decision. 1 week, 7 days of clarity, discipline, and purpose. That is all it takes to start becoming unrecognizable. Not to others first, but to yourself. When you wake up with intention, when you cut distractions, when you remove weak habits, when you move with power and speak with belief, something shifts. You start breaking the grip of who you used to be, and you begin stepping into who you were meant to be. Not a random version of success, but your version. The one buried under years of delay, doubt, and noise. Over this past week, you were challenged to take your mornings seriously, to remove just one destructive habit, to move your body like it matters, to control what you consume, to plan your day like a professional, to embrace hard things, to speak like a winner, to dress like someone going somewhere, to build a streak of discipline, and to end every single day with intention. That is a blueprint for personal transformation. That is how you shift from average to exceptional, from lost to focused, from ordinary to unrecognizable. And here is the secret. This week is only the beginning. If you can do it for 7 days, you can do it for 14. If you can do it for 14, you can carry it into a month. And after a month, you are not just changing. You have already changed. The world starts to notice. People treat you differently. Opportunities begin to appear, not because of luck, but because of how you show up. You have trained your mind, your body, your habits, and your energy to operate on a higher level. But the real reward is internal. It is the peace that comes from knowing you kept your promises, the pride that grows when you see progress, the joy of becoming someone you respect. You owe no one an explanation. Let your actions speak. Let your discipline do the talking. Let your presence announce your growth before your words ever do. So, what happens next? You keep going, you repeat the process, you double down on what works, you stay hungry, you stay humble, and you never settle for the person you used to be because you have proven something powerful. Change is not a myth. It is not a someday idea. It is real. It is possible. And it can start in just 1 week. You made the choice to begin. Now make the choice to continue. Because the version of you the world has seen so far was only a preview. The real story is just getting started. And it all began with 7 powerful days.